Good evening. You are watching and listening to Historian Radio's Echoes of the News, and I am Muhammad Hussain Qazi, and these are today's headlines from the past. On this day, the 12th of October, 1492, Christopher Columbus sighted the New World, earning this day the title of Columbus Day, a day that is celebrated widely in the United States of America, commemorating Columbus's sighting of the New World. Continuing on this date, in 1849, British inventor Charles Rowley patented his safety pin, unaware, of course, of the American patent that was filed earlier that same year on the 10th of April, 1849. Regardless of which patent came first or which patent was more significant, the safety pin is one of the most commonly used goods till this date. And on this very day, in 1901, Theodore Roosevelt renamed the Executive Mansion to the name it is famously known to this day. That is to say, he renamed the Executive Mansion in the United States of America in Washington, D.C. as the White House. The White House is to this date the primary residence of the President of the United States of America. And continuing on this date, in 1928, the first iron lung was used in Boston. The iron lung was an interesting medical device that was commonly used for people who had issues such as tuberculosis and such. The usage of the iron lung is significantly an interesting date. It is a significant date in the history of medical sciences. Moving forward, in 1961, New Zealand would abolish the death penalty. This too would be a significant date in constitutional history, not just for New Zealand, but for the global community, as this would be one of the first steps taken towards the abolishing of the death penalty. Now we move on to the next segment of our show, where we recount the famous births and deaths of famous figures from the 19th and 20th centuries and sometimes earlier. Born on this day in 1935 was Luciano Pavarotti. Pavarotti is regarded as one of the most significant and one of the most important and well-trained classical tenor opera singers. He is best known for his performances of Puccini's Nessun Dorma and the opera known as Rigoletto. And unfortunately, on this date in 1859, Robert Stephenson would perish. Robert Stephenson is credited with the invention of the first ever steam-powered train. Thus, his death would be mourned by the entire train-loving community. And following him in 1870, Robert E. Lee, famous Confederate Army general from the American Civil War, would also perish on this day. And on that note, we conclude today's headlines of the day. You are watching and listening to Historian Radio's Echoes of the News, and I am Muhammad Hussain Qazi, and these are today's headlines as history first heard them. Good night.